Shalom, Israel. Pause. Let me get my introduction going on here. Yeah. Yeah. One more minute of this. We ain't got nothing but time. We on the most highest time. Got one more cut to play for y'all, Israel. Time for some destruction. Time for some war. Yeah, you done heard that before. Come on, let's do this. Yeah, that's the end of Babylon.
No more time to wonder why. No more evil paradise. Fear the light, fear the light. And it's way too late to pray. Run away now, run, go high. You can run, you try to survive. And I doubt it so seriously. You stay alive. Now it's over, and it's time for our Lord on Jehovah.
Alright, that's cool. Just get a little bit of that going. Alright, here, let's see. The title of this video is going to be called The 3 Race Classifications. 3 races classifications. My name is WARRAW. And before I go there, I need to go here and say, all praise to the Most High God. Kal Yada Al Yawan Al Yahweh. In the name of His anointed Son, salvation. Bahasham Hamashiach Yahushai. Shalom Yasharal. Shalom Yasharwan. Shalom Yara Washalam. Shalom Tazayawan. Peace Israel. Peace Upright One. Peace Jerusalem. Peace Zion. Matai Yawadah, tribe of Judah. My name is WARRAW. Alright, let's come on over here. I got some printouts. You like that right there? Courtesy of Chosen Seed. Got that off the internet. Alright, I'm going to read this here instead of going on to the iPad. 3 race classifications and definitions here. Alright, let's start here at the top. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Negroid, also known as Congoid, is a term that is used by forensic and physical anthropologists to refer to individuals and populations that share certain morphological and skeletal traits that are frequent among most populations in sub-Saharan Africa. The term is commonly associated with notions of racial typology, which are disputed by many anthropologists. First introduced in early racial science and anthropometry, all these words here, the taxon has traditionally been used to denote one of 3 proposed major races. Got 1, CAUCASOID, 2, MONGOLOID, 3, NEGROID of humans. Negroid as a biological classification remains in use, particularly within the field of forensic anthropology. Let's go read the definition of CAUCASOID. Denoting, relating to, or belonging to the lighter complexion supposed racial group of mankind, which includes the peoples indigenous to Europe, North Africa, Southwest Asia, and the Indian subcontinent and their descendants in other parts of the world. A member of this racial group, the word Caucasoid and other words ending in oid and relating to racial group are controversial scientifically and best avoided. Salakia. Let's go to Caucasoid. No, skip that one. We just did that. Caucasian. Anthropology. No longer in technical use of, relating to, or characteristic of one of the traditional racial divisions of humankind, marked by fair to dark skin, straight to tightly curled hair, and light to very dark eyes, and originally inhabiting Europe, parts of North Africa, Western Asia, and India. White. A brown-haired Caucasian female with a tattoo on her left shoulder. Of or relating to the Caucasus mountain range. Of or related to the non-Indo-European, non-Turkic languages of the Caucasus region. Let's get to the meat here. Having light to fair skin. Look up the definition of fair. A white person. The majority of management positions in the company were filled by Caucasians. Duh. Flip the script. Let's go to Negroid. Examples, word origin, adjective, anthropology, no longer in technical use of, relating to, or characteristic of peoples traditionally classified as the Negro race, especially those who originate in sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Sahara, huh? Older use, usually offensive. A member of such peoples. Origin of Negroid expand. You can see for yourself what it's saying here. I'm not going to read every line for line. So we got the Caucasoid, we got the Negroid, and let's go flip the script. See what else we got back here. What's the next one here? Nigger or Niger. That's in the book of Acts, right? We'll get the chapter and the verse later. The term nigger is now probably the most offensive word in English. Let me read that one more time. The term nigger is now probably the most offensive word in English. Its degree of offensiveness has increased markedly in recent years, although it has been used in a derogatory manner since at least the Revolutionary War. It doesn't give the date for that war, but you can look it up. The senses labeled extremely disparaging and offensive represent meanings that are deeply insulting and are used when the speaker deliberately wishes to cause great offense. It is so profoundly offensive that a euphemism has developed for those occasions when the word itself must be discussed, as in court or in a newspaper editorial. The N-word. It don't bother me. Call me a nigga all you want to. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. I promise. Despite this, the sense referring to a black person, we're not black for one. Do I need to pull out my crayon box and show you the difference between the color black and brown? Is sometimes used self-referentially among African Americans. We're not African and we're not American. In a neutral or familiar way. And for one, we don't call each other niggers. We would say nigga. The sense referring to other victims of prejudice, especially when used descriptively, as to denounce that prejudice is normally considered disparaging, as in the Irish are the niggers of Europe, from Rhodey Doyle's The Commitments, blah, blah, blah. So we got Caucasoid, we got Negroid, and the third one, final and third and final Mongoloid, right here. 3 race classifications. resembling the Mongols. Anthropology, no longer in technical use of, relating to, or characteristic of one of the traditional racial divisions of humankind, marked by prominent cheekbones. That means high cheekbones, right? Epicanthic folds about the eyes. Yeah, tight eyes. And straight black hair. Straight hair like Caucasians, but just black, right? And including the Mongols, Manchus, Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, enemies, Siamese, Burmese, Tibetans, and to some extent the Eskimos and the American Indians. Whoa. High cheekbones, tight eyes, straight black hair. And it's not just the Chinese and the Japanese that are named here. It's naming all the Asians from Asia. And including the Mongols, the Manchus, Chinese, Koreans, Japanese. The Cambodians aren't named in here for one. And the Filipinos. All those with the tight eyes, those are considered Asians, right? But they're not named. But you get the idea, Israel. I know you do. My people can understand what I'm putting out here. Let's read number 3 again. Often lowercase, pathology, no longer in technical use, now considered offensive. Didn't they say that nigger was offensive up here? The term nigger is now probably the most offensive word in English. Okay, so let's go down here to Mongoloid, where it talks about the Asians. No longer in technical use, now considered offensive, of, affected with, or characteristic of Down syndrome. Get this back on over here. iPad trying to time out on me. Anthropology, no longer in technical use. A member of the peoples traditionally classified as the Mongoloid race. And that just named all the Asians. And no, these are not my definitions, my people. I got these straight off the internet. You can go Google it yourself. Here's another three race classification that I have printed out. We got NEGROID here. Is a term that is used by forensic and physical anthropologists to refer to individuals and populations that share certain morphological and skeletal traits. We've read that already on the other page. First introduced in early racial science and anthropometry, the taxon has traditionally been used to denote one of the 3 proposed major races, CAUCASOID, MONGOLOID, NEGROID, of humans. NEGROID as a biological classification remains in use, particularly within the field of forensic anthropology. The next one, definition of incest, the medical definition. It says sexual intercourse. Let me get my pointer here. Sexual intercourse between persons so closely related that they are forbidden by law to marry. Also, the statutory crime of engaging in such sexual intercourse. The Mongols are a Central and North Asian, Inter-Asian ethnic group. Although the largest Mongolian group consists of the inhabitants of Mongolia, they also live as minorities across Northern Asia, including in Russia, China, and many of the former Soviet Union states. The modern Korean pronunciation of Mongol is Mongol. Mongolia is still called Mingu in Chinese today. This is 2017. Mongoloid idiocy. Medical dictionary, medical definition of Mongoloid. I didn't write this out. I just printed it. It was already defined before I was born. Of constituting, that's number 1. Of constituting a characteristic of a major racial stock native to Asia. That means all the Asians, right? Not just China and Japan. A lot of you Hebrew Israelite groups out there just want to classify the Chinese as Moab and the Japanese as Ammon. But what about the rest of the Asians, huh? Native to Asia is classified according to physical features as the presence of an epicanthic fold. What is epicanthic fold? That includes peoples of northern and eastern Asia, Malaysians, Eskimos, and often American Indians. Yeah, the North American, the Central and South American Indians. Those peoples, often not capitalized, usually offensive, of, relating to, or affected with, here we go again, Down syndrome. Why do they keep saying that? Epicanthic fold. Noun, epicanthic fold. Medical definition of epicanthic fold. A prolongation of a fold of the skin of the upper eyelid over the inner angle or both angles of the eye. Uh-oh. You wonder why Asians have those strange looking eyes, huh? Why? Why are they the only race of people on earth with those eyes? It's telling you here. It's defining it right here. It's called epicanthic fold, Israel. Pay attention. I can give you all these nations here from Psalms 83. I'll probably get into that later. Yeah, you see the scriptures here. You can pause it, go back, play it again. I got you. I got the Canaanites, I got the Ammonites, I got the Moabites, and I got the Israelites, all right here. And I'm going to break it down to you, Israel. Race here. I got one more page for you. Race. You can go on Google and Google this. Here, let me see if I can get it, if I got time here. Let's go. Let's go to Google. Okay. Let me get rid of this blue letter here. Race, back to race. I can't even work my own iPad here. Let's go Google. Race, back to race. Let me lock this in here. Okay, let's go, Wi-Fi. What's taking you so long? I think I only got 20 minutes of recording time here. Let's see if it's going to pull up what I printed out, and if it doesn't, I'm going to have to just read it off of what I'm going off of here. Let's get this out of here. I apologize to my viewers for the delay. I'm trying to keep this smooth and flowing. Get out of there. X. It says, are Native American Indians fundamentally Asians? And this is just a prelude to my video that I will be producing here shortly. I know I've been saying it for the past couple of years, that I will prove who the Native American Indians are. And no, they are not Israelites. No, they are not just heathens. They are a special group of heathens. Which heathens are they, though? Are Native Americans fundamentally Asians? And if they are, what type of Asians? A curious, yeah, this is it here. Go to Google, type that in. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see it clearly. are Native American Indians. Let me go down. It's too bright. Fundamentally Asians. Okay, get out of here. Disappear. I don't know how to get this out of here, but I'm going to go stick with this here. Okay, let's hurry up and get through this. It says, most theories say Native American Indians migrated to the American continent from Asia across a land bridge around 11,500 years ago. We know that's BS because the earth is only 12,000 years ago according to the book of Sirach in the Apocrypha. So we're not going to deal with that date here. Let's go. Yes, this would in fact make the first Americans Asians. However, the story gets more complex. As I said, for a long time, archaeologists believe that all Native Americans were descended from people from Siberia who crossed over to Alaska about that date there. They traveled on a land bridge under what is now the Bering Strait. These people were called the Clovis people after an anthropological site near Clovis, New Mexico. That's way down in the South United States, so I don't know how they come from up there to down there. They first colonized uninhabited lands of North America. Later, they migrated to Central and South America. Scientists were able to figure this out from looking at human and other remains found at archaeological sites. Also, the language spoken by some Native American people closely resembles ancient Asian languages. That's because Moab and Ammon spoke Hebrew. Their father was Lot. Lot was the nephew of Abraham. I have the scriptures posted in the description. This was more convincing evidence for the theory that Native Americans came from Siberia. Now, there is evidence that people other than the Clovis people arrived to the Americas at different times and from different places. The evidence comes from looking at lots more archaeological sites and studying the DNA of Native Americans. I know this is a little bit shaky. Let me go down here a little bit, my peoples. Scroll up. Some years ago, archaeologists found the remains of an ancient settlement in Chile. They were surprised to find that it was 12,500 years old. This is much more ancient than the Clovis people. Also, the skeletons found in this site resemble more the people of Polynesia than the inhabitants of Siberia. The theory is that these people may have arrived by boat to America from Polynesia. Now we believe that there were separate groups of people who came to America from Asia. They keep saying Asia. They keep throwing Asia. So Asians and the Native American Indians are somehow linked here. Scientists also found that studying Native Americans' DNA, the genetic blueprint that is passed down through generations, can show where they came from. They did this by looking at mitochondrial DNA. That's the DNA from your mother. mtDNA comes from a small compartment of the cell called the mitochondrion. This is the place where all the energy is made for the cell. Mitochondria is different from the DNA found in the nucleus in that it always comes from the mother. Like I just said, the mother. You know, my people are smart. You know, mitochondrial DNA is from your mother. DNA in the nucleus is from both mother and father. Looking at mtDNA lets you compare people across many generations on the mother's side. Scientists looked at, let me go scroll up, mtDNA from many Native Americans and many Asians. Whoa. Why are they comparing Native Americans and Asians together here, huh? Oh, could it be the high cheekbones and the tight eyes, straight black hair? They were surprised again based on their DNA. Native Americans belong to 5 different groups. Groups 1 through 4 are closely related to Asian people. Whoa. The fifth group is most closely related to related European or Western Asian people. So it seems most Native Americans are originally from Asia, and as you said, fundamentally Asian. However, it seems there are some whose origins are from Europe. All right, that's from Google. Now, I have another page here. Let me see. I'm going to read you a scripture here. I'm going to go back here. To my printout. I'm going to get the Ammonites. And once again, my name is WARRAW. I can prove to you who are the Ammonites. Those are the Asians. I can prove to you who are the Canaanites / Philistines. Those are your Caucasians. And I can also prove to you who are the Moabites. Those are your Native American Indians. And last but not least, the Edomites. Those are your Arabs, the Arab race. I'm going to get a definition here, or I'm going to get a scripture first and foremost. Genesis 19:38. Salakia. Where's my pointer at here? Okay, here we go. Genesis 19:38. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. Medical definition of incest: sexual intercourse between persons so closely related that they are forbidden by law to marry. Also, the statutory crime of engaging in such sexual intercourse. I'm not going to get into who are the Ammonites right now. That's another lesson. But what I will try to do is find the definition here that links. Let me go ahead and cut this off here. Pause. I'm going to go try to get a definition that links the Native American Indians as Moab here. But there's a video coming soon on who are the ancient Moabites, and also who are the ancient Ammonites, who are the Edomites, and who are the Philistines. And this video here will be concluding shortly. Okay, let me get, no, not Mongoloid. Yes, let me type in Mongoloid again. And it has something to do with why their skin is yellow like jaundice. And also why their hair is straight black. And it would tell you that it has something to do with alcohol. So was not Lot drunken by his 2 daughters? Did not they use alcohol to drunken their father so that they lay with them? Here's some many images here of Mongoloid. As you can see for yourself, my people, I'm not making none of this up. This is all on the internet. These definitions were here before I was born. I will have to do a part 2 or a follow-up on this video to show you exactly what I'm saying, because I don't want to just be saying anything that I can't back up here with scripture or archaeology or definitions. So for now, I will probably just conclude this video to my people Israel. And before I go, I will be leaving you with this tune here. The End of Babylon.
Feel the thunder in the sky, and the lightning when it
Babylon
strikes.
will
Flash
be
the
destroyed.
light, flash the light. There's no way you can escape. No more time to wonder why. No more evil paradise. Feel the light, and it's way too late to pray. Run away now, run, go high. You can run, you can try to survive. And I doubt it so seriously. You stay alive. Now it's over, and it's time for our Lord on Jehovah to call in the soldier. Revealing the revelation and eliminating no more God. And it's no time for repenting. And it's no time for you to be tripping. Think of the murders, people you murder. So may you rest in peace. Then it won't be long before Babylon gets falling. Go marching in. Then it won't be long before Babylon gets falling.
Shalom, Yasharal. Shalom, Israel.
A whole lot more crazy now. Cause now we barely make it any day we can escape it. So the only way to face it, only is to take it cross straight.
Call halal. Call Yada. Allah Yawan all. Most High Power. Bahasham Hamashiach Yahweh. We out. WARRAW signing off.